You are listening to the Knotted Physio podcast. I'm your host, Jenny Resmondo, owner of South Alabama Physiotherapy and creator of the Knotted Physio, where life should be fun and light. This is the podcast where we talk about how to keep the active adult who's busy with work and family life fit and healthy to enjoy the Gulf Coast outdoors. Let's get into today's episode. Before we start today, I wanted to let you know about our free Facebook group, The Knotted Physio. I do live trainings in the group each week to dive deeper into strategies to remain active and where you can ask me questions personally and I'll give you feedback. Okay, on to the episode. Hey guys, welcome to the next episode of the Knotted Physio podcast. We've been having several great guests on, and today I'm super excited to be able to introduce somebody that has got a passion for the disabled veterans in our community and is here to help spotlight them and show us ways that we could help support them. So I'd like to introduce Festus to our show. Welcome, Festus.
Hey, thank you very much for having me, and I can't thank you enough for helping us get the word out about this awesome event that's getting ready to take place in May.
It's amazing. When I heard about it, I knew that I needed to be a part of it. And for those who are listening or who are watching, can you tell us a little bit about what it is and why there's this passion inside of you and the others who started it?
Okay, well, the event was renamed this year in honor of the great man that envisioned this happening, and his name was Greg Godwin. And 6 years ago, he envisioned having a fishing trip down there in the Orange Beach, Alabama area with disabled veterans and taking them out, showing them the love of God and how much people really care about what they do and how much they care about our veterans. And it started off really small, and each year it started to grow. And I came into the picture a few years after they started. And now I am fully immersed in the Ironman Outdoor Ministry. I'm their veteran coordinator on the board of directors. And unfortunately, Greg left us and joined the Lord earlier this year. And we wanted to honor him with this event that he envisioned and fought so hard to do every year for our veterans. So this year it's going to be the 7th annual Greg Godwin annual American Heroes on the Golf fishing trip in Orange Beach. And I will tell you that this touches the hearts of so many veterans, and they don't really realize what it's about until they get there and enjoy the event and see what all these wonderful people, these God-fearing people, think about them and what they've sacrificed and done for our country. So we want to honor him for his vision with this event. And I'm here to facilitate it and make it happen to the best of my ability, along with a bunch of other volunteers.
Right. It sounds like everything is focusing on honoring Greg and honoring the veterans with his desire to have this fishing event. And for those of us who are actually listening to the podcast, I want to point out something that is obvious to us watching it. You're wearing a mask, and I know that there's a reason behind that, but would you speak to that for the people who are listening, but also to the people who are watching?
Sure, I will. Just a little backstory. I served my country for 26 years in the Army. And when I did that, I started off, it was just, hey, I'm going to go in the Army and get an education and then come out. Well, once I got in there and started doing it, I had a profound love for it. I was really good at it. And I was able to impact soldiers' lives throughout many years. And eventually I came to realize that it was my calling. It was my calling to the Lord to serve my country. So when I retired after 26 years, I trained soldiers for another 10 years. And then I got to the point where I'm a disabled veteran myself. So I got to the point where it's too much to try to work. And I retired from that completely, and I moved back home to Florida because I'm originally from Florida, somewhere out in the middle of the woods in the Florida Panhandle.
Right.
And I didn't know what I was going to do. And then it was like I had a second calling, and my second calling was help disabled veterans and disabled children. And I ran into the Ironman Outdoor Ministries at a Buckmasters convention in Montgomery, Alabama, several years back, and they focus on disabled veterans and disabled children. And it's not that they don't love regular veterans or regular people or regular kids. You have to have some kind of focus so that you don't get too broad of a spectrum of things you're trying to do. And that's what I do now. And as you would know, my name, I go by Festus Potee. Festus was a character on Bonanza. He it's a fictitious name, it's an alias name. And I have an alias name and I wear a mask because I don't need the people to know what I look like or what my real name is or who I am, because I don't look for any kind of praise or recognition from this. All glory goes to God. And if I can make a difference in one kid's life or one veteran's life, that means the world to me. So it's not about me, it's about everybody else.
I think that's amazing. And I don't know that enough people hear that and use that as their guide to what they do and serving others. They tend to have a heart for boasting themselves up, and you clearly have this desire to push your love for God and love for the country out there, so that it's not anything about you, it's only for serving others. So it's pretty amazing.
Yeah, and I mean, I'll be honest with you. You know, last year at the fishing event, we showed up at the convention center and set up, and then I came back around 4:30, and I wore a different mask every hour. I think I wore 8 different masks throughout the whole night. And
Oh, wow.
I do have a special Batman mask that opens up right here so I can actually eat my food without taking my mask off. But what happens is the next day at the fishing event, I will take my mask off when I'm working the docks, trying to make sure the vets get on the right boats. People see me, they know what I look like. They take a picture. I only ask, hey, if you're going to post my picture, just put a little clown symbol or a little poo-poo sign over my face. Just keep me anonymous. You know, it's just sort of the way it started off as a joke with me wearing a mask, and it's just taken a life of its own. So I prefer to just keep it going.
Right. And so turning back to the focus all on the veterans, can you expand a little bit more on what this really means and how the veterans are, how they respond to it? You said earlier that they don't realize really what they're kind of getting involved in until they show up. Can you go over that some?
Yes, I can. And what I mean by that is a lot of times I should say I work with over 10 different nonprofits trying to help veterans and kids get out.
Mhm.
And a lot of times we'll put an event on and a veteran will show up at an event, he'll participate, and he gets hosted by whoever's hosting the event, and they show him great time, they feed him, they take care of him. And that this event is a little bit different because everybody will come in on a Thursday afternoon, they'll get assigned to their room where they're staying at no cost to them. They will show up at the convention center in Orange Beach at about 5:15. They'll sign in. They'll get to go in. The whole banquet center is sold out. So we're probably projecting about 600 people to attend this event on Thursday night. They get a great dinner. They have a live band. They'll have silent auctions. They'll have raffles. They'll have people come in from all over the place. Local citizens from the Orange Beach Gulf Shores area to Florida, you know, and they'll be there to honor and thank these veterans for what they've done. We'll have a prayer table set up over to the side. Uh, I'm not the prayer master. I'm the one that always asks for the prayer. I need all the prayer I can get because I'm kind of like the devious one. But the table will have people lined up waiting to sit down and be able to be prayed with, you know, because a lot of people have a lot of things on their mind. They still struggle with post-traumatic stress, losing a friend, you know, and it's there to help them out. And a lot of veterans really get their eyes opened by the outpouring of love and support from people they have no clue about. At the same time, they're able to spend it with a bunch of veterans that some they don't even know, but have lived the same type of life they have and experienced the same things. So it's a really good healing experience for a lot of these veterans. And once they get a taste of it, they always want to come back. They always want to come. And then we have guys that come back that want to sponsor tables because it meant so much to them that they want to be able to make a difference in another veteran's life. So, and they'll make donations, but if you've never experienced it, I'm going to tell you, it's one of those things you just need experience. And then once you experience it, you won't have to ask any questions because you'll know. What's really unique is the fact that all these veterans come, and there's a handful of them might know each other, but the rest of them don't. So they're going to be able to share an evening with people that have experienced the same things they've experienced, walked the same dirt that they've walked, and have those things in common. They're going to form new friendships and bonds, and they're going to get to be entertained with a live concert. They'll have a great dinner. They're going to have a silent auction. We have a great big raffle with some awesome items to give away to the veterans and the participants. And that's just Thursday night. That's not even when we get into Friday. So it's sort of like a great big icebreaker on Thursday night. And I think it really amazes the vets when they show up to these things and see that many people really care about what they've done for our country. And some of the vets that have been to the events in the past now have gone on to become sponsors. And, you sponsor a table for $650. That gets you and your guest a seat at a table with 10 veterans. So we have vets that have come in the past now that are making donations to the event for our auctions and our events, as well as sponsoring tables, because it has moved them as much as it did. And once you've attended it, then you don't have to ask why it's so special, because when you walk out that night, you'll know. And then the next day, we still got a whole day of fishing to do.
So this event is not only just the dinner that you're having and that the bonding time just to be able to enjoy being with other veterans. What is it that is the fishing event? So several people don't really understand what's going on. I've had questions like, is this a tournament, or is this some kind of competition? But that's not what it is about.
No, it's not at all. It's really a 2-day event to honor and say thanks to the veterans that served our country and sacrificed so much. I mean, we're going to have a Gold Star mother there. Gold Star family is someone that lost a son or a loved one in combat. We're going to have a Gold Star wife there, a widow who lost her husband in Afghanistan back in 2004. So it's not just going to be soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marines, coasties. It's going to be all service members, plus you're going to have Gold Star families there. And then we'll have a few first responders there as well, because we like to try to take care of them. This year we have a female law enforcement officer that was shot in the line of duty, and now she's a disabled law enforcement officer. So we try to take care of our first responders as well. And then what'll happen, like I said, the next day at 7:00 in the morning, everybody's on the docks because the boats pull out at 7. They're going offshore. We have 3 80 to 90 foot large decker party boats that'll hold about 40 or 50 people each. And I believe we have about 14 smaller commercial boats. They're going to take 3 to 4 to up to 12 vets on each boat offshore fishing for the day. And when they come in that afternoon, all the fish will get cleaned. And if you weren't lucky enough to catch a fish, I'm not sure what you were doing, but everybody goes home with fish if they want fish. And then once that's done at Hudson Marina, we will be having a cookout on the beach where we'll be feeding all the veterans and the people that participated in the event as well. And we're fortunate this year because we have 3 marinas in the Orange Beach area that are supporting us. Hudson Marina is going to support us with the America 2 deck boat, which holds about 50 to 60 people. Zeke's Landing is going to support us with Zeke's Lady offshore fishing boat, a big boat like that. And then the Carib Marina is going to support us with our last fishing boat, okay, which is the Outcast. And what's pretty unique about that is on top of it, you're going to have about, like I said, 14 boat captains are going to bring their other boats that are 30-foot boats, 40-foot boats, 20-foot boats, and they're going to take veterans out as well. And the thing that is really special about the event is the only obligation the veteran has is he has to get to Orange Beach, Alabama. The Ironmen cover lodging, meals, the boat, the bait, the tackle, the license, all the food. So the veteran only has to get there. That's it. And then we're going to honor and respect them. And as Rick Murphy, the director, and Greg Godwin would always say, we want to love on our veterans and show them how much we care.
That's amazing. So if people are interested in helping out and contributing, how or what are ways that they could do that, and what are your needs that you still have at this time?
Okay, well, people always say, what do you want? Well, I will tell you, I'd never, ever tell anybody what we want.
Mm-hmm.
Anything that somebody donates to us is more than we had. So anything you think of that you think that might be handy is great. We have people to give us as small of things as sunglasses or suntan lotion, all the way up to coolers. We get gift cards. We get gift certificates from local businesses, fishing rods. I mean, anything you could think of. I have a great guy that's coming out of and I don't even want to mess this up, so I'm not going to say what state because I can't remember. I deal with so many people, but he runs a business called Deadhead Artistry. He's going to donate 2 custom handmade wooden flags.
Oh, wow.
And his son-in-law is a disabled vet, so he is coming down with his son-in-law to participate in this event. And those are types of things that we're going to be doing on the silent raffle. I have some great Americans out there that are sending us, I call them lead slingers. A lead slinger is a weapon. I just got to be careful how I say it because, social media and Big Brother's watching.
I understand.
Don't mind my dog in the background. He's just running the property. But so
It's quite all right.
we have a couple of those lead slingers coming from South Carolina. I have one coming from Pennsylvania. I have one coming from Indiana. One being donated from South Florida, and another one. So right now we're at about 7, and we're going to run a big raffle, and you'll get an opportunity to win one of 7 of those different lead slingers. And all the money that's raised from this event goes back into funding future event as well as helping disabled veterans in need.
That's amazing. I think this is going to be an awesome event, and it's going to continue to grow and expand as more word gets out. I just feel that there's going to be an influx of all these people trying to help. So that's pretty amazing that you're part of that.
You did ask how to help. Well,
yeah.
If you're on Facebook, you can go to the Ironman Outdoor Ministries Gulf Coast chapter page on Facebook.
Okay.
You can look me up. I'm easy to find. I'm the only Festus, Festus, Potee, Festus Potee on Facebook. There'll be a picture of me wearing a mask, holding my grandbaby in a hunting blind. And the flyer is posted on my page as well as the Ironman page. And I'll provide you a copy of the flyer if you don't already have it, if you want to tie it into this video or however you want to do that.
I'll be happy to.
Rick Murphy's name is on there. Jeff Godwin, who is Greg's brother, is on there. And then Rochelle Godwin is on there also, who is Greg's wife. So we can all get you there. If you're a military veteran, you got to contact me. You got to go through me because I got to make sure that you meet the requirements for the trip because we're looking for like disabled veterans. And I would tell you, each year the trip started out small in the beginning. A couple boats, then it got a couple more boats, then it got a couple more boats. And I think I came in when there was about 40 of us. Last year we had 125. I will tell you this year we're going a lot bigger.
Wow.
So yes. And the signups for the thing is easy. Once you get on the Facebook page, you can sign up from any one of the pages that is shared on because there's a link that'll take you to a form. You fill out the form, it'll come back to the database that I have set up. So once you sign up, you should be good to go on the event as long as you meet the requirements. And once I have enough veterans with enough standby veterans, I will shut off the sign up and you won't be able to sign up anymore.
Awesome. So moral of that last little bit is you could get in touch with Festus if you are if you're a disabled vet wanting or to see if they could qualify, reach out to you. I'll have that contact information on the thread associated with the video and the audio so that you could reach out to it. I'll try to make it as easy as possible for the listeners and the viewers. So Festus, I want to thank you so much for coming on and sharing about this event that's going to mean so much to the people who honored us with their service. So thank you again for coming on our show.
Yeah, well, I'm really appreciative of you allowing me to do this because it allows us to reach a larger audience, and maybe we can get some of those people out that are the like-minded that just really want to thank our veterans and first responders for what they've done for our country and communities, and allow them to come out and participate. And if you really need to get a hold of me, you can't find that page. My phone number is easy. It's 915-474-2295. And to make it easy on you disabled vets out there, if you have a VA rating and the VA gives you a disability statement, it doesn't matter if you're 10% or 100%. You're a disabled veteran and you qualify to attend the event. And I just want to share with your audience that I'm 20 feet closer to God today. And if you guys notice, yes, those are trees in the backdrop, guys. I am up in a deer stand out in the middle of the woods in the Florida Panhandle, enjoying God's country. And you can see that out there. I just want y'all to share the beauty of what I get to do all the time, and the love that I have for our veterans and our disabled children.
Awesome. Well, Festus, again, thank you so much. And thank you all listeners and viewers for tuning in today. And if you would like and subscribe to the podcast, I'd be forever grateful, and share this with somebody that it could impact. Make that positive step in somebody else's life. We'll see you next time on the Not a Physio podcast.